Well, welcome back to Highlands International Motorsport Park on a blistering afternoon. We've enjoyed some red-hot racing in the first race of the weekend at the fourth round of the Bridgestone GR86 Championship, and we're joined by the top three. In first place, Hugo Allen, Kervets Racing. Second place, Hayden Backrus, Mackenzie Motorsport. And third today, Chris White, James Marshall Motorsport. Hugo, let's start with you. That was actually your first race win on the road this championship so far. Good place, good time to do it. Talk us through.
Yeah, we kind of got two monkeys off our back today with a good qualifying, and finally we actually won a race on track as well. I think it's been long coming. We've probably deserved a win earlier on, but ultimately it really comes down to qualifying, and finally we were able to get that right this weekend and drive away from Hayden from about lap 3 or 4 onwards. So yeah, it was really cool, and I can't thank the boys enough for giving me a good race car.
Talking of a good race car, this is a complex racetrack with lots of different features. If your car is right here, have you nailed the setup of the car? Is it a complete car?
Yeah, to be honest, I leave the setup stuff to Toddy. Toddy does all that work. So does Ian, and they do a really good job of that. So I leave all that stuff to them, and then they focus on getting my head right and making sure that I'm driving the car well. So yeah, I think you've got to have it right, and I think they've obviously done that. So yeah, it's just a case of me getting my headspace right and driving well, as I say, and we seem to be doing that. We seem to be on the right track this weekend.
You were quite conservative yesterday when I asked you about how much commitment's required at the circuit, and you're just more routine than anything else, but you love this circuit. That's fair to say, isn't it? Yeah,
I've raced here once before, but it almost feels like a home track. I grew up in Queenstown, so it's quite close to home in a way. Always came here a lot when I was a lot younger and watching the TRS and stuff, so it's pretty cool to be here, and to race in this class is pretty cool, to have some close racing, and yeah, I'm just glad to be on top of it, and I can't thank my sponsors, Kiwi Tap, Kervets, for giving me this opportunity. Yeah, it's just cool to be here, and thankful that we can be at the top of it.
Well, let's move to Hayden. Hayden, good solid race. You retain your championship lead, and at the moment it's this guy sitting next to you that's your nearest challenger. But talk us through that start. You boys duked it out all the way through turn 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Me and Hugo were pretty even coming into one, and then it was a bit of you know, who's got the inside, or who drives well over the curb, and yeah, Hugo just got in front of me there into 2, and we were still side by side, but had to slot him behind.
Do you feel like with Chris that you guys on the podium today, and unfortunately Justin had a bit of an incident and went to the back, but he was up there too. Do you feel now that the championship after the first 3 rounds of multiple winners is starting to settle down, and there's some guys starting to find some regular form?
Yeah, definitely. You sort of got that top 5 competitors who are always there or thereabouts, and now we've got sort of the 3 competitors who finish high up consistently, and that's kind of what's separated us in the points. But then those 5, 6 other drivers all have the speed to fight for these podiums as well.
Given that, is it a driving thing, or are the teams, you're all from different teams, are the teams starting to arrive on a more standard sort of setup for the car as its life progresses in these early stages?
I don't think it's much to do with the teams, but more to do with a little bit of experience that comes with us as drivers. The setups, there's not too much you can change, so yeah, a bit more to do with the drivers and how they set up their weekend through Thursday, Friday practice.
So what'd you do to beat him tomorrow?
Oh, we start in front, so just got to keep that and move forward quickly enough, and just put some cars in between me and Hugo. Good
job. Moving to Chris. Chris, good race from you from second row of the grid, 4th on the grid. Was there much you could do about these 2 guys in front?
There was a little bit. Like, I got a really good start to be able to jump Lockie off the line, and I could have put it next to these boys into turn 1 3 wide, but I don't think that would have worked out too well, so it was risk versus reward. So I sort of backed out, tucked in behind them into turn 1 and single filed through. So it's sort of the easiest option to do, so we could actually bank points, because if all 3 of us ended up in the wall or something, then there'd be a few sour faces around. But I tucked in behind them, but the boys just had so much pace, they were able to consistently put down quick laps and skip away. So I was trying to do the same thing, just put my head down, not look in the mirrors, and just see if we could hang on for the podium, which we were able to do.
Hayden mentioned there's a group of 4 or 5 of you now emerging as potential contenders for the title. You're one of those. Do you feel that that's a good outcome so far in your first year in the championship? Did you expect to be in the fight at this stage?
Personally, I expected me to be up the front in the top 5. That was sort of the goal. But to be able to sort of get consistent top 4 results is a big achievement, I think, for me. Considering it's only the first year, and we've had a few bad races this season, so it's good to be able to come back to Highlands again, first race, get a podium, and so you get to congrat these 2 boys on their first and second, so we're just so fast. But they've been up the front all season, so they deserve all the claps.
As the rookie in the mix, so to speak, you're always giving away experience to these guys in the car, although it's mitigated a bit this season with it being a new car. But what can you do to leapfrog and get to the front and start racking up a few more wins?
It's a bit of a tricky one, because we're all doing really well this season, and it's all a new car for everyone. So no one was actually able to jump the gun and get some testing in or anything. So I think everyone's sort of in the same boat, but the guys that are out the front have definitely got their heads around the cars, so they deserve it all, and hopefully they can continue on with the great results for the rest of the season.
Well, 2 more tomorrow, reverse top 10 and the feature race in the afternoon. Good luck to all 3 of you.
Cheers.